there, team. It's been a long time, hasn't it? I know. I had all these intentions this year of having all these goals of the amount of videos I was going to post for the year. And clearly I have not done any of it. And I was even hoping to start this video earlier. Didn't happen, and I just remembered. I went, oh my goodness, I had best do something now. We have been ticking along. We have been doing bits and pieces. We are still competing elementary dressage, and that's where we're going this weekend. So I am just in the process of packing now, and we are preparing to head away for the weekend. So it's going to be a stay away weekend. Today is Friday, June. Can't remember the date. 13th. Oh, it's Friday 13th. Check that out. Oh my goodness. So yeah. No, this is not working because I'm just trying to get stuff in the car. I will be back in a sec. And I am back. So it's Friday 13th. We are heading to, so Marty and I, he's just having a pick out there somewhere. There he is. Oh, check that out. Whoa, there he is. He is just having a pick of grass. I am about to give them an early dinner. Need to give him a wash. Need to have a shower myself and put my clothes in the car. I think I've got most of the other stuff packed. Need to get the horse float on the ute. And yeah, so like I said, staying at Claire tonight. I'm actually, this time, we did the same trip last year. And I rolled the swag out in the float, which was fine. But last year, it rained all weekend. Therefore, I barely slept because of the consistent showers on the roof of the float. Got carrots in there. So this year I went, bugger it. I completely blew my budget and have booked a cabin in Clare. No concern about the logos on the top because neither of these companies exist anymore, so I'm not, false advertising or anything. Then we go up to Murraytown tomorrow morning, so Saturday morning. We compete there, and then we come back down to Clare and we can compete there, and we compete there on Sunday. So both dressage comps, we are competing in elementary level, so it will be the 3.1 and the 3.2. Obviously here in Australia, if anyone hasn't watched my videos before, so that's our standard tests, Equestrian Australia tests. And yeah, we're just going to have a bit of fun. So we started elementary the start of this year. I'm going to be honest, my sit trot is still killing us. My sit trot is still what's affecting our scores. Really, like we can do the movements, just don't have the engagement and the impulsion there. So continuing to work on that, but I kind of figure we're not going to get any better at them if we don't do them, right? If we don't keep doing them. And because half of the issue, I'm 80% of the issue when we are out, because half of the issue is that I don't intentionally, but I do get some comp nerves, and I don't feel nervous at all, but my body becomes tense. If he gets a bit of tension, then I get tension, then we play off each other's tension, and I just can't process that quick enough when we're in the test for me to be able to change the outcome of that. So that's really our biggest roadblock. That's our biggest roadblock at the moment. So anyway, I am going to get on with getting us ready. I will try and remember to take some video. I will be honest, I am not very good at getting these log videos, the bits and pieces, like the extra bits and pieces. I do have the Pivo with me, so I should be able to get videos of the tests, see how that goes. Sometimes I can have some technical difficulties. I will hopefully do a couple of other intros maybe when we get up there. I've got footage of other comps that we've done. So we've been doing a bit of working equitation. We gave jumping a go. I'm completely hopeless at jumping. Let me assure you of that. But you know, I might try and put in a short video that shows you how shocking I am. It didn't help that we were trying to jump in a dressage saddle. And yeah, some other training, bits and pieces. I haven't gotten a real lot of footage of us training at home, but we have been riding under lights this week. We had a lesson this morning. I didn't film that, but we have been riding under lights. Did get a bit of footage from one of those sessions. So I might try and, pop some of that in here as well, just to see, some of our prep, some of what we've been working on. Still working a lot on lateral suppleness and relaxation. And the relaxation is me sitting down into the saddle, like relaxing and opening my hips. Keeping toes forward so I don't have the full strength of my calf on him all the time, particularly my right leg. So my right leg is worse than my left leg. And then in addition to that is with contact, continue to work on that connection and me giving enough, because I do have a tendency of, when we say hold, I have the tendency of holding and staying, not holding and giving, or holding and half holding. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Hopefully, we will see you along the way. And then we will do a bit of a debrief at the end to catch up soon. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you keep watching and get something out of it. Yeah, okay, I am looking super tired. Awesome. Anyway, I've dropped Marty off at the yards. I have given him his food and water. We went for a bit of a walk before I put him into the yard. So it took us just over 2.5 hours to get up here. And so it's not it's not a massive trip. However, it's kind of in the morning to get to Murraytown. It's another hour and a half. And then coming back here tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, because we've got a late ride at 3:30. It's just easier to come up tonight, Friday night, because otherwise then it ends up like a 4-hour trip. And he gets a bit of a sore belly with too much traveling, so I prefer doing halfway, giving him a rest overnight, and then just doing the hour and a half in the morning. And then like I said, staying here tomorrow. So put him in the yards. He settled straight away because there were some other people that turned up just after us. He's got food, water, nice and warm, plenty of rugs on. I am about to just head into town, into Clare now, fuel up, ready for tomorrow, find some dinner somewhere. Then I'll head back over, check on him before I come back over here to have a sleep. So yeah, that's basically the plan. Just thought I'd give you a quick check-in. I'll take you with me when I go over and check on him as well. Still debating whether I drive in there or whether I just come back here, have some dinner, and then walk over there. I wouldn't mind a walk. I need it at the moment. I have a few kilo to lose, but don't we all? It's an endless struggle as you get older. And when you have an office job. So yeah, we'll check in again with you soon. Just leaving. No, it's not going to show anything, is it? Can't even get the... Nope. Oh well. Can't see anything. except for the distillery next door. So I've just come over to check on Marty. He has eaten all his dinner, which is amazing. What we haven't done is checked his water. You can't see anything, and I'm literally, those lights over there, that's the Discovery Park where I'm staying tonight. And you could probably say the lights that we're looking at now in the centre there, you keep going to the back of the holiday park, and that's where I'm staying. Well, hey, just a quick check-in. Just thought I'd give you a quick tour of my little abode for the next 2 nights. So staying at the Clare Discovery Park in one of the economy cabins was about 140 a night, I think it was, and you got to book two nights, minimum 2 nights. It's a nice cozy from the door, little dining table, mini kitchen, microwave, nice comfy lounge. I have been sitting there for a few minutes doing a bit of death scrolling. Oh, I shouldn't call it death scrolling, but you know what I mean. Some pretty pictures on the wall. You know, nice usable bathroom, bunk beds, and then into the master bedroom. I do have a king size bed at home, so sleeping in a double is going to be interesting, but you know, it'll be completely fine. Looks like it's nice and soft and comfy. guess what? It's 2.5 weeks since going to Clare and Murraytown. I did say I'd take you on the journey and I would make sure that I finished off the video as soon as we got back, or while we were still up there even. Clearly that didn't happen. Clearly life has gotten away from me again. I think I have kind of partly been waiting to not look so tired, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I was actually sitting here tonight just going, I really must do an outro and start editing the video so I can get the video out so you can actually see the video. Yeah, it was a great weekend away. I will admit I don't think I spoke about it, no. I did book a cabin in the Discovery Park at Clare. Nice holiday park, certainly for families. There was a lot of families there at the time. Really comfortable, had a hot shower available, which was great. Last time I went, I stayed in the float, and 2 nights of that, I was ready to go home and have a decent shower. However, part of the reason I booked the cabin was because last year when I stayed in the float, it rained, like it drizzled all night. And so I went, I'll spend the money, I'll get the cabin, and then I'll be able to have a decent sleep, so I'm not tired and grumpy by the end of the weekend. Staying in the cabin was almost as noisy as staying in the float when it was drizzling all night. But that's fine. Like I said, I still had a hot shower. Really enjoyed the weekend. On the Saturday we competed it was Murraytown, so it was Southern Flinders Dressage Club. I was so proud of him just to get through the test. So it basically rained from the moment we had to get on and warm up through to pretty much as we were going in for our second test, so that our tests were quite close to each other. I think we ended up about half an hour between. And thereabouts. And so I got off for a bit in between. We were soaked to the bone by the time. Oopsies, sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. Just wiping a message out the way. We were absolutely soaked to the bone by the time we went in for our second test, and we were so cold, and he was such a good boy. Like, he was like, why are we out here in this weather? We did get on and he was just like, nah, I do not do rain. I have absolutely no interest riding in rain. And then it came down. I didn't even try and make him continue warming up in it. We just went and stood under the trees. The others were still out on the oval. I was like, nah, stuff this. We're going under the trees. Over the years, somehow I've become a fair weather rider by the judge of that, which is fine. We got through the test. He was a really good boy. I was really proud of him. I tried to set the Pivo up so the Pivo could record us. I couldn't even get the phone to unlock because it was raining that much. It took me, so it was an hour and a half. So we went up on Friday night, stayed at Clare, then it's an hour and a half. Like, that's 2.5 hours from here, sorry. And then about an hour and a half up from Clare to Murraytown. So it took the whole trip back, so an hour and a half, plus some. I had to put the phone in the freezer for the phone to charge again because it was saying there's water in the charging socket. Don't charge it. So I had to do that when I got back to the cabin. And but yeah, got through the first test. The second test, he was a bit like, I'm freaking freezing, but we still got through it. You know, my sit trot has, oh my goodness, it's still got so far to go. But anyway, the first test, yeah, so I couldn't even get the phone to unlock while I was out there to turn the pivo on. So one of the lovely ladies from the committee of the Southern Flinders Dressage Club, she actually filmed the test for me because she saw me trying to set up the pivo. So she actually, and I gave up. I was just like, oh, well, not going to get any footage. But that meant, yeah, it was still like so wet by the second one. Didn't get any footage. I didn't even try and take the pivo out to get any footage. Did get both of our tests on Sunday though. So Sunday was at Clare, so Clare Valley Dressage Club. And they both had, they both have really nice grounds actually for where they are. So they're, up north of Adelaide. Like I said, Clare's 2.5 hours from here, basically directly north. So I kind of take the hills route and go up to Gawler, and then go directly north from Gawler up to Clare. And then Murraytown is directly north of Clare, about an hour and a half. So then, came back to Clare and stayed there on the Saturday night, competed on the Sunday. We actually had one test was it wasn't a reasonable time. That was at 11 o'clock. And then the second test wasn't until like 2:30. So we rode at 2:30, packed up. I think I got going about 3:30 probably. And then, 2.5 hours home, packed up, unpacked, put him back in the paddock, got everyone fed. Actually, it must have been nearly 4 o'clock by the time I left. Got everyone back in the paddocks, and then prepared for work on Monday morning, the next morning. It was a great weekend away. I enjoyed that trip. Scores wise, we were really consistent. So we ended up, there was actually, because we've got the different categories for our dressage here. So we've got your competitive, which is basically, those people that horses is a part of their, they earn money from horses, working with horses, training, instruction, those sort of things. So that's your open competitive. And then there's the amateur owner rider. So those that do it as a hobby. So obviously I'm in that category. And then there's ponies as well. Ponies and juniors is split out. I was in that amateur owner rider. There was only 3 of us for the weekend, both days. And it was pretty funny. So we came home with 3 seconds and a third. And then the other 2, kind of swapped between first and third. And then they got first and second. What was that? That was the second test on Saturday. We got third. So I was really happy with that. One is a warm blood, the other one is a Friesian. So Friesian warm blood. So we're competing against them. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, Marty is a quarter horse thoroughbred. So 50% quarter horse, 50% thoroughbred. So by no means bred for dressage, and by no means built for dressage. So for us to do that well, I was really happy with him. And what that actually meant as well was over the weekend, so what we have in addition to our normal scoring and your first, second, third, and these events were what we call Horse of the Year events. So it means that we, depending on our percentage and our placing that we got, we earn points over the year, which goes towards the end of the year Horse of the Year awards. By no means do I expect us to win. It's just kind of what I went this year. I've got to, limit. This year I've got to be a bit more deliberate about my competitions that I attend and that I spend money on, because that situation has changed a bit early this year. a few months ago. And so I went, okay, we'll use the Horse of the Year events as those ones that we're going to aim for and those ones that we're going to do. Horse of the Year and having a go at working equitation. So we've done the first of a tri-series at Marion Riding Club for the working equitation, and there's 2 more, but they're not until September and November, I think it is. So our next planned competition isn't until September at this stage, if I can last that long. I would like to take him to the club day, the club comp at Southern Vales Dressage Club on I think it's the 20th of July. However, I haven't actually ridden him since we've been back, and it's now, I don't know what it is, the 2nd of July, I think it is. So we've only got 18 days or something to get back into work and decide whether I'm going to enter or not. Which I do have some other, bills and stuff at the moment, things that we've got a lot of moving parts, a lot of things are happening outside of horses, and work has been extremely busy, and just because of the time of year it is, I'm, leaving for work in the dark, I'm getting home from work in the dark to then feed up and the like. So that has made it a bit difficult. And and it just makes it like this time of year, you kind of lose a bit of motivation for it too. But yeah, so we're focusing on the horse here, but to get back to what I was actually saying, is in addition to those sort of stuff, things, the Dressage Committee for South Australia, try and do what they can to have incentives in place to encourage people to want to compete, encourage them to, to also find ways of competing against themselves. And one of those ways is, so at each level of dressage in the official competitions, there's what we call the bronze, silver and gold level medals that you can achieve, and they're little pins, label pins, maybe not, pins that you can put on your collar of your jacket to say we've achieved these. And so we've got a bronze medal, and so our aim, again, start of dressage journey with Marty, the goal that I set for us is to achieve bronze level medals at each dressage level. So we've got our bronze for preliminary, we've got a bronze for novice, and on this weekend of competition we actually achieved, and what it means. So to achieve those medals, you do need to get 3 scores above like that bronze level score within a 2-year period. So for preliminary and novice, bronze is, bronze is 66%, silver is 68%, gold is 70%. For elementary, its bronze level is 55%, and then I think it's 57, 59. So we achieved 2 of our 55% scores. So 2 of our bronze level medal scores out of the 3 that we need to achieve on that one weekend. So like I said, scores were pretty consistent. I'm sure I will speak to them. I'll try and voice over our actual tests and go through a bit of that. At the start of the video, there will be a little bit around one of our rides in the week leading up to. So even preparing to go away for this weekend, we were riding under lights because that was the only way that we could get work in or get our training in. So we did the elementary 3.1 on Saturday. We achieved 65%, 65 point something percent. The 3.2 on the Saturday, we achieved 60, I think it was 63%. That was the one that we got third for. Then on the Sunday, we did the 3.1 again, and we achieved 66%. And then the 3.2 we did on the Sunday again before we headed home, and we achieved 62%. By that test, he was really tired and he was like, please don't ask me to do medium. And he's not great at medium anyway, but he was like, I don't have anything left in the tank to do medium properly. So I went, you know what, that's fine. Let's get through the test. This is going to be another practice test. But I did, if nothing else, I did in that test, in that last test, I really started to feel like I was actually starting to find my seat in the sit trot, because that has been such a struggle for me for so long. It's always been what has held me back on any horse moving from novice to elementary. And I've tried really hard to continue to work, or tried really hard to work on it with Marty, so that we can move up the levels. And yeah, really felt like I was starting to get it in that last test. But I'm sure I will have spoken about that a bit in the voiceover going through the test. So you'll see 3 of the 4 tests. Anyway, for now, as I said, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Leave a comment. If there's anything that you would like to see more of, please do let me know. And we will see you soon. Thanks. See ya.